Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a nice day to Miss Sharifah binti Shahari, which is my lecturer of DRO 1613. I'm Ramiza Shaza binti Abdul Rahman, RO 21234, wanted to present about report which is sulfuric acid that released in Tesoro Martinez Refinary that located at California. The content of my reports need information is notification, details of facilities, classification of accidents, detail of accidents, immediate cause, underlying cause, and root cause. This is also provide the corrective action, preventive action, and follow-up. As we can see in this notification of accident, when this accident occur, the employees around the accident place need to respond immediately to supervisor or SHO. The supervisor's first responsibility is to see that what is the proper medical treatment or first aid is provided or call an ambulance if the injury is serious. Then they have to notify this accident to the nearest DOSH office as it stated in Section 32 of Occupational Safety and Health. Based on the JKKP6, the supervisor that handled this case is Ramiza Shaza Abdul Rahman, and the organization stayed at Tesoro Martinez Refinary by the staff if and get help from Ahmad Yusuf bin Dawud. The victim name is Noah Henry Parker, and he born on 15 September 1972. He was California people and the contractor of Tesoro Martinez Refinery. He get an accident by working on maintenance Tesoro Corp Refinery near the Martinez and get sprayed with sulfuric acid. The event happened in acceleration unit at 12 February 2014 at 10:45 a.m. In this section is how the accident or incident happened. On 11 a.m. 14 February 2014, Hamiza Shaza, which is myself as SHO, received an emergency call that says two contractor doing maintenance work at Tesoro Corp's refinery near Martinez was splashed with sulfuric acid while working on a pipeline and a chemical sampling. Of the circumstances were not immediately known. When we received the complaint, I immediately rushed to the scene and found out one of the workers, Noah Henry, had been sprayed with sulfuric acid and causes the injury from the list at acceleration unit. According to witness, they will open the valve to restore chemical from chemical sampling and use the complete PPE. Those who are affected by acid sprinkling immediately bathe themselves. The event occurred in acceleration unit were taken to a hospital and sent home to. This is also the JKKP Form 6 for Johnny Stone, which is the second person of accident occur. Johnny Stone had the same accident, just the same accident as Noah Henry Parker. So the information content here was the same, except for her identity. Talking about the detail of facility, it happened in Tesoro Martinez Refinery that located at California. This accident happened and released at 12 February 2014 and 10 March 2014 in alkylation unit in the refinery. It says that the span of sulfuric acid from alkylation unit were very corrosive, reactive and flammable. Because of sulfuric acid concentration must be managed to ensure the alkylation unit is running safe to environment based on the safe operating limit which is necessary to establish frequent sampling testing. The classification of accident has been made and talked about regarding chemical release is an unintentional release which causing harm to employees' health and the environment. Because of that, unexpected events can happen such as illness, serious injury, explosion and many more. But chemical release accident just happen. whenever the acid sampling system are stored, transported, and used without a proper steps. Based on the figures 1, is a accretion unit where incident happened into two employees of Tesoro Martinez when both of them suffered from second-degree burn on 12 February 2014 while working to restore the service to sulfuric acid sampling system in refinery accretion unit after the non-routine maintenance. As you can see, this is the accretion unit, which is a red star and yellow stars. And the picture of figures 2 shows when the operator of both reaction acid sampling system, but the event occurred based on the figure 3. This is the figure 3. Because of the tubing of downstream of valve burst apart and causing accidents to those employees in shortly after it fully opened, and then hurting them with second-degree burn. The investigation found out that 84,000 total pounds of sulfuric acid was released. Fortunately, the employees wearing PPE because it is in policy's regulation of refinery to restore the acid sampling, which is conclude hard hat, safety shoes, goggles, flame retardant jacket and glove. The employees immediately transferred the burn center by ambulance for evaluation and treatment of sulfuric acid and burn injury. After 150 days, July 15, 2014, one of them have returned to work and the other one is after 170 days. From investigation of immediate cause, they found out that there is leaking valve from accident place. This is happened when employees do their work and none of them realize that the system has been flooded with hydrocarbon and sulfuric acid that attach to accretion reactor. This situation makes them get sprayed with acid when the tubing immediately direct the downstream of the valve apart to the connector just because the contractor returned the sampling acids. Underlying cause content of unsafe act and unsafe condition, which is shown in this report, that came from improper manufacture sample container. This is happened because of the sampling system was out of service or maintenance. Not just that, there is 3.4 inches diameter stainless steel tubing came apart due to insufficient tightening between a tube and compressor joint at sulfuric acid and made the sulfuric acid fail to keep in a good condition. Then the equipment is always didn't do a test regularly or get maintained and restored as soon as possible after it used, and which is going to the equipment failure. But maintenance worker also found out that there is inadequately tightened compression fitting for the adjacent sample station. Root cause of the accident came from the bad culture of refinery itself. The refinery management failed to do leak tubing tests due to maintenance program documentations and communications. Which is even worse, the refinery management willing to abandon its inherently safer sampling system and not thinking further about the bad things coming until it become culture in that place. Also, the management not ensure the integrity prior to putting the equipment for daily service, which is to keep the quality. So, staffing source limitation due to numerous worker injuries and workforce reductions. Corrective action is the final step, which is the only choice to recover it after the accident happened. The refinery management should make an installation program to check the valve in order to prevent the reverse flow of acid from the reactor. Next, create the strong policies that will make employees willing to cooperate to industry and follow the standards. Employer must learn advice technique on job to manage the spill of chemical acid that have been registered in MSDS, which is the Material Data Safety Sheets. Be ready to performing non-routine with proper hazard control. The most important is everyone in the management must learn a lesson and change their mind of backward culture from the previous accident, which is make an assessment plan on how to avoid the repetition accident by PPE, change of mindset, training, common sense, and many more. Preventive actions. We must use the best techniques such as hierarchy of control, ALAP, to examine the previous accident and incident to require refine the use of it. There is also another steps that will increase enforcement by funding and staffing to strengthen the process management of safety regulations by the Book of Safety Regulation of Chemicals to empower the system to be more proactive. If the mindset has changed, automatically the management or employees must immediately alert to occupants and supervisors and evacuate the area if that's the only way to do. From the suggestion of corrective action and preventive action, there are just some of them that berjaya apa? From the of corrective action and preventive action, there is a few of the steps that succeed in this management. It shows that the incident percent of the same accident decreasing rapidly and almost reach the goals of company. The stronger rules of policy, which is give them a warning sign or make a fines, make them do the work properly and cooperate into the take care of the refinery. Other than that, the training on how to manage the spilled acid based on MSDS, which is Material Safety Data Sheet, give them influence to know the danger of certain acids and knowledge them on what to do to immediate action if the event occur again. They are also immediately alert to the area the occupant and supervisor to evacuate the area if necessary. That conducted evacuation unit is the best because the employee almost don't suffer from serious injury anymore, and if accident happen, it is a minor injury. The most succeed step is installation to check the valve to prevent a reverse flow of sulfuric acid from the reactor, then make it didn't show acid spills happen all of sudden. Thank you for lending your time to hear my report. To finalize this report is reported by me, Ramiza Shaza binti Abdul Rahman, the Safety and Health Officer that released in 1 December 2014. That's all from me. Thank you.